What's up people and welcome back to my channel. I'm still giving Kids Next Door character a Pokémon team. The inspiration keeps flowing and flowing and flowing. A few weeks ago I gave a Pokémon team for one member of each of Sector V's family. Looking back, it doesn't seem fair for the rest of the families. So it's time they get justice. Starting with the Lincoln family, Mrs. and Dr. Lincoln. Sadly, Abby's older brother won't make the cut as we never see him, nor do we even know his name. We know he has a couple of gifts of his own, but that's it. So only the Lincoln parents will get a team. Because we don't really know much about them, hell, we don't even know what their true faces are. They will have to share the team. I'm gonna start with Mrs. Lincoln. She's shown to be quite lovely and apparently has French ancestry or lived in France, since she speaks French. So for this, she has a Florge. Or Florges? How do you pronounce that? Anyway, it's the red variant, as it's the closest to her pink color scheme. She gets a love disc because it is said that French is the language of love. Her final Pokémon is a Levani, a very motherly Pokémon. For Dr. Lincoln, he gets an Audino, a nursing Pokémon. To reference his previous job as a clone, he gets Blacephalon. It fits so well when you realize that this Pokémon has no face, just like Dr. Lincoln. For his final Pokémon, he gets a Rotom Hit From to reference his baking ability. Next we have the Beatles family. Because I couldn't give them a Pokémon team for each of these three characters, they will have to be the first trio of trainers for one Pokémon team. Yes, even Joey gets Pokémon. He seemed to be quite a formidable opponent, in Dodgeball at least. His team concept was to give him baby Pokémon, but after making a lot of Pokémon teams with my rules, I ended up with only 2 baby Pokémon left for him. So that's the only Pokémon he will get. Togepi and Mantine. To be fair, Togepi is really like the baby Pokémon, and even without my rules, I was going to give him a Togepi anyway, so yeah. For Mrs. Beetle, she gets a Kangaskhan because she's always seen with Joey. Her second Pokémon is Ribombee, a Pokémon based on the Beefly, where a variety of it lives in Australia. Sydney gets a Heracross for the Beetle pun, and that way he and his wife share a bug-type Pokémon. His second Pokémon is a Heliolisk, which is based on a friendly-neck lizard, a critter living in Australia. Next we get to the Sandbands. Just like for the previous characters, I wanted to give them one team for 2 initially. But I got carried away and decided to give Kani and Genki their own team of 6 Pokémon. They deserve it. They are the only parent who didn't have a face reveal due to an emotional moment between their kids and themselves. Think that was kind of the reason we never saw the parents' face in the first place. In their first appearance, they showed up directly with their face shown. Absolute legends. But since at first they had half of the team, I'm still using the theme I came up with them. Fire and Ice. They are the typical duo of one hot-headed character while the other is a cool and collected one. Kani is obviously the hot-headed as he gets worked up a lot for small things, while Genki remains pretty calm. Their teams will mirror each other, starting with them having respectively a Ninetales and an Alola Ninetales. For being Cookie's parents, they can have the evolution of Vulpix. Their second Pokémon are Darmanitan and Galarian Darmanitan, the only other Fire-type Pokémon to have an Ice-type regional variant. Kenny gets a Volcarona and Genki a Frostmoth. Both are 2-stage moth-like Pokémon and respectively a Fire and an Ice-type. Kenny has a Turtonator, a simple Fire-type, but also to show his explosive personality. Genki receives a Cryogonal, and to be honest with you, it's really because it's a 1-stage Pokémon that could mirror Turtonator. That's it. For the semi-last Pokémon, Kenny gets a Salandit, a Pokémon that cannot evolve if it's male, and let's be real, it's more like him. On this channel, we stand to Short King. For Genki, she gets a Delibird, mostly for the Ice type, but is also to reference the fact she offers her daughters dolls and plushies. For their final Pokemon, they get a Chi-Yu and Xian-Pao, a Fire Dark and an Ice Dark Pokemon respectively, who are part of the same catcher and are Asian looking. Next parent is going to be Betty Gilligan. Yes, she gets a full team on her own, as we don't really know what happened to her husband. Her first Pokemon is Blaziken. Yep, that's right, she gets a starter because she is still a single mother and deserves all the crowns of the world. But also it's a subtle reference to the chicken soup that helps fighting the flu. Her second Pokemon is a Raichu to fill up the last member of the Pikachu family. If Hogarth Sr. was around, he would get the Alolan Raichu to reference Betsy. Her third Pokemon is a Snorlax to reference her son's Munchlax. She gets a Mr. Rhyme and a Golurk for the same reason, but it references her youngest son. Her final Pokemon is a Lapras because she carries her whole family on her own. Now that I made a team for 5 characters, I know you're wondering if I'm going to make one more for an Uno. And you're going to say that I already used all of the Unos. And you would be right. Except, I decided to add one more character because, once again, I'm biased toward the Uno family. So, which character am I talking about here? Is there a hidden Uno family member somewhere? Well, kind of. I'm going to give a Pokemon team to Shirley Uno, also known as Vigo or number 1600s, Nigel's son from the future. Okay, I know that technically, he doesn't exist, as this future is only a simulation. In this fake future, Nigel is the president of the United States of America, and his son seems to be delightful eyes, acting all proper and obedient at first, but we quickly learn that he is the leader of Sector V. His first Pokemon is Charcadet because, come on, look at this little guy. His second Pokemon is Ogerpon, her Flame Mask. Not only it's a grass/fire type that is way better than Scovillain in my opinion, the fact that he has a mask references that Shirley has to put on a mask for the public, as he is the son of the president. He has a Shenmin Sky form to represent his much more heroic self as number 1600. He has a reboot, a fire starter, and the reason is the evolution. It's because his stage looks more moody because Shirley really hates his dad. For his final Pokemon, I wasn't sure if I should give him a Flareon or a Leafeon. I wanted to have a 50-50 fire and grass type Pokemon for him in his team, to reference his potential demonic/fire powers from his dad and his alien plant origin from his mother. Then I decided to just screw that, he gets both. So here we go, the Pokemon teams for these characters. Let me know what you think of it, push the buttons if you didn't already do that, and I'll see you guys next time.